and good morning on this beautiful day. My name is Sabrina, and it is my absolute joy to be here with you all this morning, whether you are live in the sanctuary or on our live stream. And I will be leading the meditation this morning on behalf of the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living. So, as I generally like to begin, I'll take this opportunity to center ourselves and just welcome in this moment with gratitude as you begin to settle into your space and just allowing your eyes to close. And just take in the vibration and the feeling of gratitude and just feel into it. And dropping inwards in your body. And just notice your breath and the gentle expansion. And feel that life force energy that is within you, that is all around you and in every part of your being. And feel all of life alive within you right now. It is your inner being residing within. It is ready to expand beyond its limits. Experience all that you are to grow more full in light and to transcend any limiting beliefs. And to uncover more of its radiance and elegance through you. And just remember, no matter the experience, the seeming discomfort on your path, there is a higher order at work. One that is providing the framework for which you are to grow into. For whatever is needed for you to walk through, for your own expansion and your own unfoldment. And in this knowingness, fear and doubt dissolve, and each step you take, no matter what the landscape appears to be, there are hidden treasures there that need discovering. And know that this is your sacred path. And as you step into this truth, allowing for more peace, ease, grace, understanding, and joy, and knowing that every part of your journey has beauty in it. And now I invite you to enjoy your inner journey, that inner connection, and discover all of the treasures that lie within you until you hear the sound of my voice again. anchoring to the love that is yours, and let yourself be reminded that everything is a gift. The remembering of who you are, the tenderness, the unconditional love, wholeness, freedom, it is all there for you to step into. And it is almost time to return, but know that you could journey inwards and come back to this cherished place anytime. And so just breathe and feel into your heart space. And from this moment, go into your greatness for all that you are. And now become aware of your physical body and your environment. And as you begin to open your eyes, maintain this expanded state of being. And so from my heart, thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Roll the ancient Yuletide carol. Fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us. Fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry major. Fa la 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 la. Well, I'll tell a Yuletide treasure. Fa la 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 la. Passed away the old year passes. Fa la 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 la. Hail the new year, lads and lasses. Fa la 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 la. Join we now our joy together. Fa la 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 la. Careless of the wind and weather. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la.
Elevation! Doing something kind of fun. We had that as our conch song last week with that kind of fun rhythm, so we decided we would reprise it again because it was lots of fun. I want to welcome everybody. I know we've got a few new people here, so welcome to the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living. If you're new to our center, there's a few things you need to know, and I will call your attention to the slide here. As you can see going around the slide, there are representations of many of the world's faith traditions. And we put this up every single Sunday. I talk about it every single Sunday because it is that important to us to know that we honor all faiths. We honor all paths to understanding nirvana, whatever you want to call that. We understand that there are 8 billion people on this planet. That means 8 billion people who are a spark of the divine, which I'm going to be talking about in just a little bit, a spark of the divine. Each one of us is here to express our unique selves. That's why we are here. If we're ever looking for our purpose in life, our purpose in life is to express ourselves. Yes? You bet. You absolutely bet. And so if that means that you came in on a different faith tradition than what normally is taking place here in Canada, that's absolutely fine. We support everyone in finding their right and perfect path because we know we're on one. I want to say hi to our Love Stream people. Also, what happened to George Clooney? Oh, no. George Clooney's gone. There's always a picture of George Clooney up there, and it lets me know where to look to find my Love Stream people. I know you're there. And I just want to say something to our Love Stream people. Some of you who stay home because it's kind of cold outside, I really miss you. You can come back. It's really okay. You can come back. We got room for you. So if you've been like, oh, I don't know, maybe there's not enough room or anything like that, please come back. We love you on Lovestream and we love you live. Basically, we love you. So anyway, that's my welcome for today. So we're going to sing our Kong song, which is Winter Wonderland, and here it is. So let's stand up and sing. You guys stand up too.
Hey, bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, the snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, rocking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the new bird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. The meadow we can build a snowman.
was fun. We're going to have lots of fun today. I think this is a kind of a fun and interesting talk. So, let me tell you what's going on. Lots of stuff are happening kind of leading up to the holidays and then after the holidays also. So next week on December 19th, our ministers and practitioners are putting on a special service, and they're calling it the Special Community Service. And the reason why we're calling it that is that different members of the community are going to be doing different parts of the presentation. And they're all going to be talking about, I love how the early advertisement about it was letting their freak flag fly. Now, what that means to me, well, it's different now than it was 40 years ago, what letting my freak flag fly, but okay. Anyway, but just how do you express life? How do you express joy? How do you express love? And so different members of the community are going to be presenting that and talking about how they are showing up in the world as love and as joy. It's during our regular service, so starting at 10 o'clock with the meditation, 10:30 with the service itself. And it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Great Christmas music, all the feels, all the good stuff. So that's next Sunday. And, I meant to put you first, Rosalie. No, it's so cute. So Rosalie, our darling Rosalie, has made toques and masks that go together. She happens to be wearing, would you stand up, Vanna? Please, Vanna, show us your toque, your mask, and your scarf. And we've also got matching toques and scarves. And Rosalie has made them and is selling them to buy more yarn, to make more toques, to provide to people who are in need and need a little extra warmth. We figured maybe 1,500 toques. The Loops of Joy have made and given away over 1,500 toques since their inception. And so this is not a fundraiser for the center. This is simply a fundraiser to purchase more yarn, to make more toques to give away. And so she's out in the front and makes great Christmas gifts for only $10. Goodness gracious. And so please avail yourselves of that. And she'll be here this week and next week as well. And then on December 31st, I know those of you who are new are seeing this and think that it's a joke. It's not a joke. December 31st at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes, it's true. We gather either live stream or in person, but we are gathering to pray and meditate for world peace, for world healing. And boy, does the world need it now, hey? And so whether you're going to be watching it on the live stream or whether you're going to be here in person, we do gather 5 o'clock in the morning. And the reason for that is that people all over the planet are praying and meditating for peace at the same time. That time happens to be noon Greenwich Mean Time, which when you back it up makes it 5 a.m. Mountain Time. When I was in California, it was 4 a.m. And every year we were there. So whether you're going to watch online or whether you're going to be here in person, just have that in your calendars. We'll talk more about it as the weeks go on. But it is coming up on Friday, December 31st. Wait, I'm going to say one thing. It's not New Year's Day morning. In other words, you don't party, stay up all night, and then come at 5 a.m. It's December 31st. It's December Eve morning. So you come to that, then you go to work, then you take a nap, then you party, and then you don't have to show up the next morning at 5 a.m. Yes? That's a good deal. Okay, there you go. Our ongoing groups that we have every week, we have our consciousness seekers who meet on Monday nights. They're going to go on winter holiday after this Monday. Coffee with Dr. Pat is ongoing. Every Wednesday at noon, we come together on Zoom and just have a lovely time together. The Thursday meditation by ministers and practitioners, and our Saging Circle, which is for people ages 55, 60, and above, just coming together and sharing wisdom. sharing sage wisdom with one another. It's a group that has just taken off like gangbusters. All the information on the website or in the newsletter. So I think that's all I've got. Yes. So Sabrina is going to come up and she's going to do our spiritual mind treatment. And Steph is going, you can stand here, hon. Yeah. Steph is going to lead us in a chant. You all know it. Love is, I am, love is. So Steph is going to lead us in that. And then Sabrina will give us our spiritual mind treatment. So just go within.
Love is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. Love is, I am. Love is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. Love is, I am.
So right here and right now, I breathe and I know the one presence, the light of spirit back of all things. It is the love and the creative flow of the universe, the very essence of life, always revealing its divine nature of beauty and love through and around everything. And I am a part of it. This spirit of the light, and I live as a full expression of the creative flow, honoring and embracing the divine within me right here and right now. And as I begin to step into the sacred time on the planet of winter, I am reminded of the beauty and elegance of Mother Nature and how calmly beneath the surface the seeds lay dormant and the animals hibernate, and how silently nature draws inwards for a moment of resting and renewing. And so, just like nature, I too take this moment and I pause and I turn within and I reflect and I reconnect and I fall in love with the truth of who I am. And with the slow return of daylight in the weeks to come, today and every day I celebrate in the light of spirit, bringing my absolute best in all that I do, shining my light. And as I recognize this within myself, I am able to see clearly the light and the love in others. And I am so grateful for the knowingness of this one truth. And so with confidence now, I release my words into the law, knowing that it is already in motion. And so I just let it be, and affirming together, and so it is.
Love is, I am, right here, right now, right here,
Such a sweet moment. Thank you, Sabrina, for the beautiful treatment, and thank you, Steph, for the beautiful wraparound. And what we do now, and I'm especially grateful because we have new people here today, and what we do now is to repeat our vision and our mission statements. We do this also every week so that we remember, especially during this long hiatus, we remember who we are, what our center stands for. So let's say this together. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world that works for everyone. There's so much. I could do a talk on every phrase within there, but today I'm going to be talking about light. So I want to talk about being a beacon of spiritual illumination. That's so important, especially as we go through this time of our lives, as the days are just ever so getting shorter, and the nights getting longer, but not for long. Pretty soon it's going to make this shift over, but that we can still always be walking through life as a beacon of spiritual illumination. Just go like this. And one of the ways that we do that is through our mission statement. Let's say that together. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness. I love that word co-creation. We use it quite often in this center, and we absolutely mean it, that we are collectively, Love Stream in person, we are collectively helping to create a community that is enhancing consciousness. Consciousness means awareness or awakeness. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. And I love you all for being here. I love you all for being here as well. Thank you, Sabrina and Steph. So, special music today. Our own sax man is going to show us his chops with some Christmas music today. So please, oh, that's pretty. Please welcome, I don't know where that came from, but that's super pretty. Please welcome Elevation featuring Oliver Miguel.
1, 2, 3, 4. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering the simple phrase to kids from 1 to many times, many ways. Merry Christmas to you. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. So it's been said many times, many ways. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
Oliver
Thank you very much.
McDowell.
Merry Christmas.
And Elevation with Steph Chapman, Luis, and Lisa. Give it up for them. Woohoo! One of my favorite Christmas songs. Yeah. Thank you, darling. Could you bring my stand up? Thank you. Multi-talented group here. Okay. Would you breathe with me, please? Taking a breath. I like Lucille who just went like this. Those of you here and those of you at home, just taking a breath like this. And one more time, just do it. I always have us breathe together before the talk. It just gets us all on the same page. Whether we're spread out all over North America or whether we're here in Calgary, we are now on the same page. How's it feel? Good? Yeah. So last week, my talk was, and there was light. And there was light. And we learned about the story/myth of Hanukkah, which is also known as the Jewish Festival of Lights. And we learned about the story, and we lit the 8 candles of the menorah. And we have a couple of gentlemen in our community who were raised in the Jewish faith, and they did Hanukkah blessings, both in Hebrew and also in English. It was just a really sweet time to have those candles burning and everything. I loved it. So today, knowing that I was going to talk about Christmas, I decided to continue with our theme of light. And so I called it "And the Light Continued." So last week was "There was light," and this light, the light continued. We're all about that light, aren't we? And we're going to talk about the Christmas story, the Christmas myth. You know, don't get offended by that, because we're going to actually reframe some of our Christmas myths and take a look at them from a slightly different standpoint. So I can pretty much guarantee that this is going to be a different Christmas talk than others that are going on around town. So you guys going to be brave with me? Yeah, okay, yeah. Because instead of telling just the story and lo, it was foretold, you know, from the Christian Bible and all that other kind of stuff, we're going to take some of these myths and we're going to look at them differently, and we are going to discover instead the deep metaphysical message of the story. And the metaphysical message, meta meaning beyond and physical meaning our physical senses. So what we're going to learn today is going to transcend religion. It's going to transcend culture. And at the same time, it's going to keep everything sacred, because it is sacred. And what people believe is sacred. So the first myth that I want to reframe is the story of the three wise men. And the story is, have you ever wondered what would happen if there had been three wise women instead of wise men? They would have asked for directions. They would have arrived on time. They would have helped deliver the baby, cleaned the stable, brought practical gifts. I mean, come on, frankincense and myrrh. And they would have made a casserole. Yes? Now, before we really get started, I want to point something out. I did not know this until I started researching the talk. Out of the entire Christian Bible, and you know, that's a big old sucker, right? There are only 2 chapters with about 20 verses each that actually talk about the birth of the baby Jesus. There is Luke 2, verses 1 through 20, and there is Matthew 2, verses 1 through 23. That's it. So this huge holiday where billions and billions of dollars are spent every year is based on 40 verses of an ancient book that has gone through continuous translations and languages. What's even more interesting is that the 2 Gospels of Luke and of Matthew don't tell the same story at all. One of them has the trip to Bethlehem and has the birth, and the other one has the wise men and the star. So what that means is this traditional Christian Christmas story that all of us know and love, and we know and love this story, is actually a compilation of 2 different stories that were written by 2 different people a couple of hundred years after the fact. So you with me so far? All right. So with that in mind, I want you to think about the Christmas story, okay? The angels, the shepherds, the young mother, traveling to Bethlehem, no room at the inn, the star, the barn animals, the wise men. Okay, you with me? You got the story? So let me ask a couple of questions. What did Mary ride on the road to Bethlehem? A donkey, yes? A donkey. It's okay, so this is going to be like Jeopardy, okay? What is a donkey? No. You guys want to hear a naughty joke? You do? I can't remember the front part of the joke. All I remember is the punchline. something along the lines of Mary was not having an easy pregnancy because she rode Joseph's ass all the way to Bethlehem. I promised myself I wasn't going to tell that one. Okay, okay. How soon after they reached Bethlehem was Jesus born? That night, right? That's what we're told. He was born that night, like they just got settled in, right? What sort of building or structure was Jesus born in? A stable. A stable, right? And what animals were gathered around the manger? Cows, sheep, goats. Okay? Yeah, okay. And cows, sheep, goats. And how many wise men were there? 3 wise men, right? We all know the story, right? What would you do if I told you that the actual Gospels don't say any of that? All of these details that we grew up with, I know, and that we know so well are myths that have been embellished and told for over 2,000 years. For instance, what did Mary write on the road to Bethlehem? It says nothing. All it says is that she went there. It says nothing about how they got there. Luke 2, verses 4 and 5. And Joseph went with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. Nothing about the donkey, right? Here's the next one. How soon after did they get there? It said she was great with child. So we thought that she was due that night. She was giving birth to the baby. But in Luke, it actually says, and so it was, that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. Meaning, just like any other baby in the world, nobody knows when it's coming, right? Here's the other one. What sort of building was Jesus born in? It never describes a building or a structure. It only says that he was laid in a manger, which is the feeding trough for animals. Could have been a stable, it could have been a stall, could have been a cave. The Gospels do not define it. What animals were gathered around the manger? We said the cows, the sheep, all that other kind of stuff. Well, there is actually no mention of animals at all in the Christmas story, despite what popular culture tells us. For example, there's a super funny essay by Dave Barry. Do we know Dave Barry here? Dave Barry, the columnist. He wrote it about Christmas music, and this little excerpt was about the little drummer boy, which is all about the Christmas story, right? And Dave Barry wrote, also, I have issues with the line from the song that goes, the ox and lamb kept time. Really? How? Did they clack their little hooves together, castanet style? Are we supposed to believe that 2 barnyard animals with legume-sized IQs spontaneously started doing the Macarena? So even though there were no animals mentioned in Scripture, every nativity scene in the world has the animals. There were also no mention of how many wise men there were. Could have been 3, could have been 300. The story settled on 3, I think, because that's how many gifts were mentioned. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But in Matthew 2, 1 and 2, it says, Magi came from the east, came to Jerusalem and asked, where is the one who has been born, the King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him. That's the mention of the Magi. Now this is really going to blow your minds. The Magi actually followed the teachings of Zoroastrianism, which is an ancient Persian religion that studies the stars. In other words, they were astrologers. True story. This is also interesting. Freddie Mercury of Queen, his parents were Zoroastrianisms. Zoroasters. They followed Zoroastrianism. They did. Thank you. They did. So these are just a few. To our new people, I'm usually much more serious than this. I just want you to know that. Anybody watching, I'm usually very solemn. Okay. So there's a lot of examples of how that traditional Christmas story has been changed and altered and edited through the years, including the fact that we celebrate it in December. There's absolutely no proof anywhere that Jesus was born in December. In fact, it's quite unlikely that that was true. But the reason why we practice it in December has nothing to do when he was born, but everything to do with trying to convert people to Christianity by the old church. Because in the olden days, we're talking, 1,500 years ago, 1,200 years ago, the church was trying to establish itself, right? But it was competing against all these other kinds of religions and faiths, including the earth-based religions of the Celts and the pagans and the Druids. And the earth-based traditions worshipped just that, the earth, the sky, the plants, the animals. They found inspiration from the rising and the setting of the sun and the changing of the seasons. And one of their biggest festivals and celebrations of all is Saturnalia, which took place around the Winter Solstice, which is December 21st. And the reason why they celebrated Saturnalia is because it's the shortest day of the year. But if the shortest day of the year happens, they know that it signifies that eventually the light is going to return. So they're celebrating the return of the light. So one of the things that they would bring into their homes was greenery. Trees and all kinds of different things, because it would remind them that the cold, dark winter would eventually make its way to spring. So that green color, right? Some of the hardiest plants around there, and we're talking about, the northern hemisphere, mostly of Europe. Some of the hardiest plants were the holly and the ivy. What color are holly and ivy? Green and red. Green. They believed that mistletoe had regenerative powers, and they would bring it into their homes to stoke the fires of fertility. And then finally, they would bring light into their homes in the form of Yule logs and candles and lanterns and that type of thing to remind them again of the eventual return of the sun. So are you sensing a theme? Yeah, okay. So you might be wondering how all these pagan traditions that seem so familiar to us now somehow got wrapped up into the celebration of the birth of the baby Jesus. Well, again, the church recognized that it was easier to convert people if you let them keep their parties. Because people like parties, right? So you're going to change your entire belief system, but we're going to still let you have parties. And you can still bring red and green into your house, okay? So basically what happened is that they amalgamated the story of the birth of Jesus with the winter traditions, and what we have is this fun, festive, kind of mixed up, kind of jumbled up version of Christmas that we know. And that's not to mention this guy. Where does this guy fit into everything, right? The only thing he has to do with the birth of the baby Jesus is the fact that he brings presents. And he comes on December 24th. Okay. So that's a reframe, kind of a quick reframe, but it's a reframe of the traditional Christmas story. So with that reframe, the question becomes, what's left of it? You know, we've kind of debunked some of these things. How can we use this to bring more understanding into our lives now and make it more relevant? Because believe it or not, to our new people, our teaching isn't just about breaking down old ideas for the fun of it. It can be fun, but that's not really why we do it. What we know in this teaching is that by releasing what no longer belongs to us, what no longer serves us, it makes room for things that are more relevant, more impacting in our lives. So what can we learn from this story? Now we've taken away the dogma and the history and the mythology. Well, if we break it down to the very essence, it is the story about a birth of a child. A special child, a child of light, a child of love, a child whose birth brings joy to millions of people. But instead of seeing him as the great exception, the Son of God, how about we appreciate him for what he really is, which is the great example, the way shower. As we follow his life and his teaching, he showed us how to do that. Maybe not as a tiny baby, but as he grew into his full ministry. And just as his life is celebrated at this time of the year, all of our lives should be celebrated because we are all sons and daughters of God. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, put it this way. He said, this son is being born at every season, in every place, through all races and in all nations. Every birth is a divine event. Every conception is immaculate. Every child who is born into the world represents the son or daughter of the divine nature. And to me, that is the true miracle of Christmas. It's not the angels, it's not the virgin birth or the wise men or the star in the east. The miracle is that the life force energy, that which is in back of impelling and moving and living and having its being in each of us, it made itself to be expressed through us. That means each of us has a spark of the divine. I talked about that earlier this morning. Each of us was born whole, perfect, and complete in the eyes and the mind of the source of our being. Whole, perfect, and complete. So when we get beyond the myth and the dogma and the religiosity of the story, what touches us about the birth of Jesus is that it represents innocence and purity and promise. It represents the part of us that has never been hurt, that has never been damaged, that part of us that still sees possibility everywhere, that part of us that is limitless, that part of us that is pure light. And our light continues on because we, each one of us, is the beloved of the beloved. So put your hands on your heart if you would and just say, I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. Happy holidays. Whichever one you practice, whichever one you celebrate, I love you muchly. I love you muchly. Thanks for being here, and so it is. This song, albeit instrumental, is one of everybody's favorite Christmas songs. And I asked Oliver to do it, so even though we won't have lyrics, I know you know the lyrics. So in light of what we've just learned, I'd like you to think about the lyrics of this beautiful, most beautiful of Christmas songs. Please welcome Oliver Miguel with Elevation. Jennifer. Look at your audience. It was a request. Also beautifully accompanied by Steph, Louise, and Lisa. Whew. The chills, major chills, yeah? Whew. I kind of am verklempt. I kind of want to cry a little bit. But I won't. I'll be brave. So now is the time that I get to talk about how you can support the center. People here and also those of us on our love stream. It's pretty easy if you live in Canada. You can send an e-transfer to office@calgarycsl.org. We get it, goes into our account. Thank you so much. You can also use PayPal. Those of you in the States, you can use PayPal. Just make sure you mark it coming in Canadian dollars. It's just accounting-wise works better for us. So thank you for that. You can send a check. You can call the office and talk to Lance and give him your card information. You can sign up for conscious creation or conscious commitment, conscious creation too. Conscious commitment. And I want to say, we're coming up to the end of the year, and all of you who have supported us during this difficult year and last year, which was a difficult year as well, thank you so much. Your donations, as long as they're over $100, are tax deductible. So if you're looking at a way of kind of cutting out your tax burden, giving to a nonprofit is one of the ways that you can do it. We give you a receipt into next year that you can take to your accountant and have that taken off. So just something to think about if you're like, ooh, you know what? I need to spend a little money, or I need to give a little money away. We'll take it and we'll put it to good use too. So we're going to do our conscious giving affirmation. So those of you in here, if you'll put your hands to your heart, those of you at home, put your hands to the heart, and let's say our conscious giving affirmation. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And I think we need to sing light again for today, okay? Since we're kind of doing light. So I thank light.
I thank light for everything. 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 I thank love 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 for everything. I thank life 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 for everything.
Okay, you know what we do. Here's the drill. We're going to rub our hands together. We're going to do our final blessing. You know what? Right now, I'm going to ask you to send some of your love and your good energy down through that area of the U.S. that got caught up with all those tornadoes. What a lot of destruction that is. So send some there if you know somebody who needs it. Just anything. We're just going to send our love out. So on a count of 3, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoosh. Have a wonderful week, my darlings. See you next time.
Sing it with me. Feliz Navidad. Hey. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Cha cha cha.
Oh my God, Louise, you're fucking ridiculous.